homesteaders, gardeners, and cooks. My name is Jennifer. Welcome to Miles Away Farm, or welcome back. I have an interesting recipe to share with you today. I have 3 different copies of the Ball Blue Book. This is the most recent edition, but I've got ones going back for 20 years because I've been canning for a really long time. And they all have this recipe in them for what's called golden nectar. And for a long time when I was canning, my rule was I was only going to can things that I grew. So if it called for a store-bought ingredient other than maybe lemon juice, I wasn't going to make that recipe because I was adamant that the whole point of this was that I was going to preserve the things that I was growing, not just preserve things from the store. So I stood on that hill for a very long time. And I had seen this recipe many times as I was flipping through doing other different processes. And the golden nectar recipe calls for store-bought orange juice and store-bought pineapple juice. It says fresh or bottled, but I don't live in a climate where citrus grows, and so I don't have abundance of orange juice in order to come up with 7 cups of my own orange juice. I wish I did, but I don't. And then pineapple juice, I could juice a pineapple. I do occasionally buy a pineapple, but I figured I might as well buy it instead. Anyway, so this year I had an abundance of extra peaches, and then every year I always grow cantaloupe, and so I had a couple of extra cantaloupes as well. And I ran across this recipe again as I was flipping through the pages, and I thought, why not? I don't know about you guys. I went through a phase in probably middle school, high school, where I really fell in love with Kern's nectars, and particularly the peach and the apricot nectars. And I would get one of those and slug it down every day and just feel like $1,000,000. I was pretty undernourished in high school. I weighed 105 pounds. I didn't eat a huge amount. I didn't have disordered eating. I just had a very fast metabolism at that age. And so mostly I think it was just basically a big giant dose of sugar that was going into my system, but it did have some nutrition in it. And this is similar. I went ahead and made the recipe. And so this is the golden nectar that has been in the Ball Blue Book forever. I'll put the recipe here up on the screen. And so it's orange juice, pineapple juice, peach puree, cantaloupe, honey, lemon juice. I think that's it. And it's actually quite delightful. It's fairly sweet, not surprisingly, because it's got a lot of honey in it and then a lot of fruit. And I don't tend to do juices just straight out of the bottle. I usually mix them with something. So what I like to do is I take some of the golden nectar, about 1/3 of a glass, and then I just mix it with fizzy water. And so this is the Safeway brand fizzy water, and this particular one is peach, which goes with the peach that's already in this golden nectar. And it's really been quite delightful. I'm sure this would be lovely with cocktails as well. I don't tend to drink a lot of alcohol anymore since I had a cancer diagnosis last June, but it would be great in a cocktail as well, I'm sure. A lot of foam here, probably partly because of the consistency of the nectar and partly because everything is not quite as cold as it could be. But really delightful, and we've really been enjoying it. So golden nectar, let me show you this unusual and actually quite good recipe from the Ball Blue Book going all the way back for at least 20 years. Let's get started. So we're starting out here with a quart of peaches, and these are slightly scratch and dent. These had been in storage for a little while, so there's a little bit of bruising on them, but they have been peeled and pitted, obviously. The original recipe called for the peaches, the cantaloupe, and the water, and I did not read it closely, and so I ended up adding the orange juice at the beginning here. I don't think it made any difference. Orange juice can sometimes get bitter if you cook it, but it's going to be canned anyway, so I don't think it really made any difference. Here is my massive cantaloupe that I was using up here, and it's 6 cups of diced cantaloupe, a little bit of water, and then that's all getting cooked together along with that orange juice. And we're just going to heat that until everything gets soft, and then blend it with a stick blender. You could do this in a regular blender, but trust me, it is well worth getting a stick blender. You can pick them up used at thrift stores for pretty inexpensive, but they will change your life with these kind of recipes. So getting all of that super blended so that it is as smooth as I can get it. And then I'm adding in my pineapple juice. I decided to change pots here. I realized that this was too much for the pot that I had it in, and I needed to switch pots. And when I did that, I did actually decide to strain this through a strainer. And so I took out as much pulp as I could. some fresh squeezed lemon juice, and then quite a bit of honey, 1.5 cups. And this is honey from our local bees. And the sweetener in this is somewhat optional. It is not there for safety. It is just there for flavor. I did use the full amount because I wanted to give the recipe a try as written, but you could back off on that honey if you thought that was too much sweetness. It's going to have a sharp note because of the pineapple juice and the orange juice in there, and so the sweetness is a nice addition. Bring that to a boil, and then we're just going to put that into our pint canning jars. The original recipe said that this would make 6 jars. I think that's what I started out with here, and I ended up with a total of 9. This is my typical experience with ball recipes, is that they almost always end up making more than what it originally called for. So I always try to have some extra jars ready just in case. I'm evening these things out here. This is 1/4 inch of headspace, and then wiping my rims. And I still have liquid in that pot, so I went ahead and got these jars ready and threw them in the canner, and then proceeded to fill the other jars once I had these in the canner ready to go. So here we have a total of, actually there's a third one here that you don't see going into the canner, so a total of 9 pints. And I've got a wild assortment of lids here. I was at an estate sale and picked up some new canning lids that were just stored, and I wanted to see if it would work or not. So I've got a really crazy assortment. And then I think the processing time on this is 20 minutes. So bring your canner to a full rolling boil and then start your timer. And then once that timer goes off, turn the heat off, let it sit with the lid off for about 5 minutes to give you a little extra assurance on your lid sealing completely, and then out of the canner it comes. And then I'm going to leave those sitting on the counter until they're fully cooled. This is an interesting recipe, you guys. If you find yourself with an abundance of extra peaches and cantaloupe, give this recipe a try. Thanks for watching, Tribe. If you like this kind of content, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, leave me a comment or share. I have new content coming out whenever I have time.